Hello there, it's Eris, and today I've decided that I'm going to do a tag, I suppose, and it is from Kelly Bear. I've been following Kelly Bear for a while on YouTube and on Instagram, and on Instagram I saw that she was going to do an Advent challenge, and it's a tarot Advent challenge. So the idea with this, and forgive me if I get any of these details wrong, is that you choose a deck that you would like to work with for the 25 days in the lead up to Christmas Day, hence Advent. And it's pretty free form with how you interpret the tag, but the idea is that each day for the 25 days, you draw 3 cards and then you leave those cards out of the deck until you get to Christmas Day, where you'll have 6 cards left. And with those, you can do like a Christmas Day reading, I suppose. So I quite like the idea of this challenge simply because I've been wanting to come back to YouTube in some form, and the timing seemed good for this. And also I want to work with this deck a little bit more because it's a deck that I haven't actually used very much at all. And I'm going to share the deck with you that I've chosen, and also do my first reading with it because today is the 1st of December. So this is Tarot of the Crystal World, and I backed on Kickstarter a little while back, and I can't even remember when I actually received the deck. So I'm a bit sketchy on nearly all of the details associated with this. I want to say 2 years ago now. I feel like it was 2022, and since then I've barely touched the deck. I have shuffled it. I may have done a few card pulls from it. The creator is an Australian creator, and because I backed it on Kickstarter, I think there were some little things that were added along the way. So it's got this really cute bag that's velvet, and it's got this lovely little print on it. I think you can still buy the deck from the creator. So the creator of the deck is Brooke Penrose, and I understand that he is a musician as well. So we'll have a look on the back. Tarot of the Crystal World, inspired by music, history, motherhood, magic, and stuffed to the brim with punk attitude, Tarot of the Crystal World is a fully illustrated interpretation of a 78-card tarot by Brooke Penrose. The cards are fierce, unique, challenging, inclusive, and emotional. The people inhabiting the crystal world are us, in flux with our past, dancing within our dreams, lost in time and recast as players on a stage of fate. I think I came across the deck on Instagram, and the creator is Australian as well. You can see on the bottom there, Captain B Studios. I think that's his kind of creative enterprise. So it does say 2022. Copyright Brooke Penrose, conceived and illustrated on stolen land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. When I backed the deck, I also got the add-on of the Crystal World Oracle. So these are the cards, but I've taken them out. I'm not going to use these for this challenge. So I'm going to just put them to one side. The deck is really beautifully produced as well. So it comes with a little baby guidebook, which may be a slight challenge if come across any cards that I'm not quite sure. I think that's the creator there, the artist himself. I just love jack of all trades type creators who make music, they write, they paint, they draw. I just think that's so cool. So that's the guidebook, and this is the deck. It has a linen finish and gilded edges in a nice gold there, and quite beautiful looking backs as well. So without further ado, I'm going to try to riffle shuffle the deck on camera. No pressure, no pressure. and draw my first 3 cards and maybe speak a little bit to what I think the cards mean, and then off camera after I finish filming the video I'll probably journal about it. I don't think I'm going to manage to do a video for every day. I really doubt it, to be honest, but we'll see how we go. In the meantime, I'm going to add an extra element to this challenge. So I also recently got hold of the Faeries Oracle by Froud. And often when I draw tarot cards, I like to draw an oracle as well. And I really want to get to know this deck, read the guidebook, and, oops, sorry, bumping the camera, and do like a 1-card pull to accompany the 3 cards that I pull from the crystal world. So I'm going to see how these 2 decks work with each other. This isn't shuffled at all, and I want to edge this deck as well. I got it secondhand at a secondhand bookstore. I'm quite chuffed with that find, actually. So I'm going to be doing that too. Whoops. So yeah, let's riffle shuffle on camera. I'm sorry if this makes anyone cringe a little bit. I am a and I usually do 1 riffle and 3 overhands. That's my little routine. And my goal here is just to get to know the deck and see how it works with the Faeries Oracle. That's my main goal. I think Kelly Bear mentioned that you could explore different goals that you might have with how you tackle the tag. So I'm just going with, I really like this deck. I think it's good for summer, which I'm moving into here in Australia, so-called Australia, and I want to get to know it, so that's my goal here. Okay. So, content warning, there is nudity in this deck. Yeah, so if you don't like nudity, maybe don't follow these videos. So we've got the Devil. I believe that's the Magician. And 5 of Pentacles, which is really interesting because that's been a stalker card for me lately. I'm just going to check. I believe I drew that yesterday from a different deck. I don't know where my diary is right now, so I can't check that, but I drew that yesterday, so that's really interesting. So let's take a look at these 3 cards. So we have the Devil here on the left, and the way that the Devil has been interpreted in the crystal world is this figure in red with no face, with a bit of a trench coat on. It's giving me working for the government vibes, secret agent, kind of FBI agent, kind of thinking of like Agent Dale Cooper, but like the evil Black Lodge version almost. The little happy face on the lapel is really interesting. So there's kind of like a smirky quality there of the trickster, I guess. And the Devil's interesting because not only is the Devil my card of the year, but also I've been creating my own tarot deck at the moment, and I've kind of stalled on the Devil. So I'm finding that really interesting that that's my first draw for this challenge. And then we have the Devil closely followed by the Magician. I have to wonder in some ways if the Magician's kind of a self-portrait by the artist. If we just have a look. Not sure exactly. I might be drawing, you know, bit of a broad link there, but it's pretty badass in this card. The heads are interesting, and the 4 tools are seen here. So we have a staff or a wand, I'm not sure what they're called in this deck yet, a sword, a cup, and a pentacle there. And he's doing a bit of magic there, a bit of rock and roll magic. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles on the side. So we definitely have the mother and child. And interestingly, there's a parallel between the 2 cards here. We have the crescent moon in the top left corner between the 2. So there's an interesting kind of link happening there between the first and the 3rd card. And I'm also noticing the red that's running through, because I don't believe that it's quite a colourful deck, and red isn't necessarily a prominent colour in every single card. Just had a quick kind of look, and yeah, I mean, the one I just turned definitely does, but these cards, I think, have an interesting kind of bloody correlation. And 5 of Pentacles isn't necessarily a cheery card. Often I interpret the 5 as this idea of feeling this sense of despair, but there are resources available that for some reason the querent or the characters in the card can't access at that time, whether it's been barred from them or they've just been, left out of that institution. But we can't really see any evidence of that there. And I think these 2 cards are both major arcana and are speaking about this idea of agency, maybe. So the devil kind of plays with ideas about personal freedom and also, in some ways, temptation, things that are kind of taking your, attention away, or you're being, enticed by. And then on the other hand, with the magician, we've got someone who is in their full power, has all the tools at their disposal. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles of these people who have seemingly neither. They don't really have access to the things that these 2 very powerful figures have access to. So there's kind of an interesting relationship happening there. I might just glance into the guidebook and have a bit of a look at what it says for each of these cards. So it's coins, the 5. And I've just happened to open up to this page. So for 5 of coins, it is a setback, only a setback. So that's all we've been given. So setback, but only a setback. Interesting. The devil. Your fear is meat for the devil. Luxury is enslavement. Take care. Your fear is meat for the devil. Luxury is enslavement. Take care. It's interesting, like I guess his coat could be interpreted as luxury, but also his gold watch. So we've got these 3 kind of discs happening here. And that's it's a cute little piece of poetry there. Instead of having a full, guidebook, we're just given this little white book with a very small, meaty couple of sentences. Your fear is meat for the devil. Luxury is enslavement. Take care. And I would say these figures have no luxury, nor are they necessarily enslaved. So it's an interesting dynamic happening here between these 2, like the haves and the have-nots. I don't know. So in the middle, magician, what have we got? The Lord of Mercury, the manifestation of possibility. Your talents incarnate, but beware his deceit. So the magician is deceitful in this deck. It's interesting. So there's a theme of deception going on between these 2 cards, and then maybe this theme of the outcome of when you're being manipulated or being deceived, and what the outcome to that may be. So just to throw a curveball into all of this, we're going to draw from Brian Froud's Faeries Oracle. And I'm going to riffle shuffle this one a few times because I put this back in order to check all the cards were present and accounted for when I got it out of the box, because I did buy it secondhand. So it's going to throw a bizarre element into this 3-card draw by adding a fairy realm, because I think Tarot of the Crystal World has whimsical elements to it, but it's very grounded in, like, there are some modern references, as you can kind of see. So I'm interested to see how they play with each other. Sorry about bumping the camera. Obviously, I haven't made videos in a really long time, and I'm a bit of a noob at this all over again. I barely know what I'm doing, or, you know, I don't even know. I think that's twice. I'm going to do this one more time. Hope that's enough. What do the fairies have in store for us with these themes of deceit, disappointment, manipulation, fear? Trying to reach across. Okay, so I'm just going to do one. Number 52, the rar. Is that what that says? The rar? So it's definitely one of the more abstract. I need to read this guidebook clearly. I know that there's kind of a system where the fairies are broken up into different kind of courts or something. The rar. It really is the rar. Wild energy, pure potential. Once upon a time, there were 3 pink boys, more or less, and a rar, who all played in Brian's son Toby's bedroom. They liked the midnight tea parties, their magical ambience, and of course they liked Toby. Unfortunately, the pink boys got too rowdy and Brian had to throw them out into the garden, which was where they belonged anyway. The rar learned from the experience in a rarish way and quieted down a bit during the midnight hours. They're not naughty or wicked, just energetic. They're also not very discriminating. They like to join in whatever excitement's going on and add energy to it. In a way, they are pure potential and they potentize whatever is happening. Rars are attracted to mobs riding and to meditation groups rising toward ecstasy and to any other strong energy states. Rars are a bit like Tigger in the Pooh stories. They bounce, they zoom, they go off on wild tangents. Brian hasn't painted a wild tangent yet, as far as I know. But I know what they look like, having encountered more than my share. Think of rar of a growling dog, engine revving up, the purring cat. They don't discriminate. It's up to us to do that. They put a live spark, and whatever's happening is our choice or what we do with it. It encourages you to be especially attentive to what you're doing with your energy and intentions. Don't get carried away by the bouncy enthusiasm, but do take advantage of the energy. This is a good time. It's not grounded. Breathe slowly, center, earth yourself. Okay, the way I'm interpreting that is like a bit of a, I guess, I really need to read the rest of that book. I see this as like a little bit of a sizzle adding into my whole venture of starting something new here. I'm filming it, I'm doing a tag, I'm interacting with the tarot community again. So I see that as a bit of a spark to keep me going. So that's kind of for me rather than feeding into the reading as such. So I feel like there's lots of potential here in this reading. We've got like these big forces of the major arcana. We've got, like, maybe this is some energy to help me with my own dabble in the Callisti Tarot, which I've been working on, to put a bit of fuel back in that tank that's kind of stalled. Maybe this spark is for these characters here to get them to move forward in that, what was it in the guidebook? Only a setback. So it's interesting, an interesting little puzzle to work out. So yeah, I'm enjoying this combo, but I'm really enjoying this deck, so I'm looking forward to continuing this. So what I will do now is I will journal my findings. I'm going to set these cards to the side so that they're not included the next time that I draw from the deck. And that's all until next time. I will see you later in the week to keep you updated. So thanks for following along. Check out the tag. I'll put all the relevant links in the description box below if you'd like to check it out and follow it along. And until next time, bye-bye now.